Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm teacher Casey, and I'm here with my friend and yoga teacher, Heather. Hey, Heather.
Hi.
How you
Namaste.
doing? So how are you doing today?
I am fabulous. I just taught yoga class, so I'm all loosey-goosey.
Yeah, I just did her yoga class. I'm just sweating. So today we decided to have a little coffee chat and introduce you to my friend Heather and her green light yoga. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how green light yoga came about?
All right, so I'm a VIP kid teacher, and I travel in an RV. As you can see, I am obviously not a fancy studio. This is my living room, my dining room, my studio, my kitchen.
Love it.
You're just in my business. So fine. I'm very authentic. I'm very real. So like this is my life. My sink's full of dishes, and that's just how life works. Um, I love traveling. I love seeing my people all over. We talked about opening a physical studio, my husband and I, but I was like, but I have people everywhere that I love, and I love teaching. So teaching online was just so much more fun for me because I got to see people from Pennsylvania, Florida, Georgia, California. Like I get all the people from all over that I know with teaching VIP Kid. I've
Right.
met teachers from all over. And with all my traveling, I meet people from all over. So it's like, oh, I don't want to just be, in one place. Plus, I love traveling. So this online stuff works perfectly. Green light yoga came about kind of by accident, kind of not. When my husband and I were living in Colorado and we both were working at a hotel and I worked at a craft shop, like I had a bunch of different jobs and I was still doing VIP Kit. And my husband and I were driving to work one day and we were talking about like, I want to open a yoga studio. And we were talking about the name. And on the drive, we were talking about how the color green represents like growth. Like when you're changing, you kind of almost exude the color green. I did not pick this sweatshirt on purpose.
Oh, I'm in blue.
I just like the color green. I'm just realizing I'm talking about green and I'm wearing it. I did not do this on purpose, but you kind of exude the color green. Your aura or your space around you just kind of exudes green because you're changing, you're growing. And my husband and I, there goes the truck, RV parks,
Right?
my husband was like, oh, green really represents growth. And that's what we want to teach people. We want to teach people how to grow and heal themselves. Like, don't become reliant on us. We want to give you the tools so that you can grow and change on your own and of your own accord and be very self-empowered.
Right.
So that was where we came up with green light. We talked about doing green aura. I was like, what about light? Because everyone has that little light that shines inside of them. So it was green light yoga.
Great.
And my husband is a meditation teacher. And so how our marriage works so perfectly in this business is that he manages the spiritual school side and the meditation side, and I do the yoga side. And we don't tell the other one how to run anything on the other side. So that's how this marriage works so well with being business partners. Right. It's like I have my side and you have your side, and we don't
all
talk
in
about
an RV.
all in an RV, right?
That's awesome that you share the same passion too. I think it's really important. I've taken classes with Heather, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a week, 2 to 4, depending on when I started was 2. I've taken one class with Andrew, and those are really enlightening. Is that the word I want? I don't know. It's really calm and chill with Andrew. So how can people find you?
People can find me on Facebook. You type in Greenlight Yoga Studio. It's like a big G with a girl in the middle of it doing a, busting out a yoga pose. That, you can catch me on Facebook. We're also on Instagram, same name. I think it's Greenlight Yoga Studio. And also on our website, greenlight.yoga. If you want to see the yoga schedule, you click or you go to our website, greenlight.yoga, not .com, .yoga. And then you click on schedule, and that will show you my whole yoga schedule. If you want to see like my husband's side of things, you can click on spiritual trainings, psychic trainings, clairvoyant trainings, all that stuff's on his side. We're working on the website now, and he's changed some of the tab names, so I may have to get back to you on what the tabs are called.
When you go to it, you'll see Heather with her hands flowered open, and
it's me in New Jersey on the beach. That was a great day.
Nice.
I got sand all over.
I'm not a sand kind of person.
Doing yoga on the beach, you just get coated in sand. You're just like, yep, I got sand in my bra. Yep, I got sand in my pants. Yep, I'm just going with it.
Which brings me to my next point, that I absolutely love working out with Heather, because we just talk about everything and anything we need to talk about at the time, and she is real. And so Danny and Kelly actually started with you when you were doing free classes during the start of COVID, and they were like, you have to come do yoga, you have to meet Heather, come do yoga. And they're like, she's real, she'll tell you like it is. And I'm like, all right, sounds like my kind of person. So yeah.
And when we actually in May are going to be celebrating our 1-year anniversary of starting Greenlight Yoga. I started teaching free classes on Zoom when the pandemic first hit. Greenlight, like, we had the name, but we weren't a business yet. What happened was, everything shut down. And for the first week, I was stuck in my house, like walking around, like, I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what to do with myself, because I was doing VIP Kid, working in a craft shop. I mean, I was a certified yoga teacher, but I wasn't teaching yoga at the time. I was just doing a bunch of jobs, saving money to open my studio, which is such a blessing that we had done that, because my husband and I had saved a bunch of money and had it put away to open the studio. And we needed that, because when we first shut down, we were not making any money.
Wow.
So that little nest egg actually saved us. So, the universe provides, like little inklings like, hey, you should save money. And then, 5-6 months later, the whole world shuts down. I was like, oh, thank you, universe, thank you. That lined up very well. And then, so I was just doing it for free on Zoom, just to give myself something to do, and to give back to people, because everyone was having so much anxiety and stress, and everybody was stuck in their houses. Like, what do I do? And I thought, I really want to get back into teaching yoga, and I want to do yoga. I had actually gained 30 pounds over the winter, so I was ready to move my butt. I need to move. So it just all lined up perfectly, which, making magic out of chaos. Like, my husband and I were just like, he started teaching his meditation classes. He started clairvoyant trainings. He, his side was like fully functioning. He has, how many students does he have now? Like 12 to 14 students.
Nice.
So he's teaching like a full-on trainings. His trainings are like a year long.
Wow.
So they're getting ready to graduate. So some of them, he's getting ready to graduate. They're going to be like full-on clairvoyant. So super excited for them. And then we're celebrating the 1-year anniversary of Greenlight Yoga being a full-fledged business, because we got our business license, got our mind, body, and everything going. So we were like, yay, we're official. Got that EIN from the government. We're official.
When is the anniversary? May what? Do you know?
No, we don't know the exact day. We just know it was in May.
Celebrating the month of May with yoga. Love it.
We just know, because we were doing everything all in the month of May. So we're just like, we'll do this. But we love it. Love it, love it, love it. I love doing this. I love what I do. That's
awesome. It's great that you can make a business out of something you love. You know how I feel about all of that, so we won't get into all of that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know some, like Danny one time, she was like, oh, I'm the only one that signed up. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I made you have to teach class. And I went, honey, this is a pleasure. Like, I am like, you make my whole day. Like, don't take it as like, oh, I'm the only one, so I made you have to teach. Like, no, please sign up. Make me teach, please.
Right? It keeps you moving.
Like this it sets the tone for my whole day, because I have all of my yoga classes are 30 minutes after VIP Kid classes are done. So it just sets the whole tone for the day. I get to kind of release whatever stress I got from my students, if I got any. Most of the time I don't, but sometimes you get that one that just and then I get to let it all go. I get to move my booty, and then I'm just ready to go for the whole day.
I'm muted because the trash truck is outside. Trying not to make It was. I know I've done that to you before too. I'm like, oh, sorry. But some of my favorite classes have been one-on-ones. But we would like to add more people to the party because it's always a lot of fun when we have a group. I did want to point out, so you'll see her looking from side to side. When she's looking at me talking, she's not looking at us because our camera's in a different spot.
Camera? The computer. Yes, I have it set up so that, because my laptop has a very small camera frame, so you don't get to see my whole body. I have this nice wide camera. You can kind of see all of me.
Yeah, it helps because when you do yoga with Heather, you'll see her whole body, but sometimes she'll just see us from like the bust down or the waist up.
Right. I'll be like, do this motion. Okay, I can't see.
She gets all the poses.
But I think you're doing it right.
All the views.
I get to see juicy peaches. It's great.
Right? I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes when my arms are supposed to be up here, I'm like, whoo, when she can't see my arms.
Uh-oh. Now I know. So now I'm gonna be like, Casey.
You know I can't lie to save my life. I'm terrible.
Like, stick them up.
Oh, perfect. So I'm going to put all of Heather's links and probably Andrew's links below as well. And actually, this is going to post in a few days. And then Andrew will be coming on in a couple of weeks as well. So you'll get to meet him and we'll talk about his business as well. And yeah, we'd love to have more friends come join the party. I specifically come on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. But I'm sure I could be talked into the Monday too.
Definitely.
Okay, so here's a hard question. What is your favorite yoga to teach?
Oh. That is a hard question because I love teaching all of it.
Well, she's thinking my favorite is yin, and I thought I was not going to like it at all because you have to sit still in one pose. But it's such a good stretch and feels so good on my body. So I actually really like yin, but I didn't think I would.
If I would have to say my favorite to do is probably a mix between Nidra and Vinyasa, which is totally crazy because yin, or not yin, Nidra is like a sleep yoga. You're just laying on the mat and being guided through mental exercises.
That's Sundays.
Yeah, that's on Sunday nights for like 30 to 45 minutes. And then Vinyasa is just a constant flow, a constant movement with your breath. Which I guess the reason I love them both is because I get that perfect balance. I get that very relaxed status, which I have a brain that just goes nonstop. So having that Nidra is really helpful for me to like just zen out. And then the Vinyasa, it keeps my peach nice.
Right. So is there one that's like 30 minutes Vinyasa and then 30 minutes Nidra, or is that like a yoga no-no?
I wouldn't say it's a no-no. I do know of some Nidra teachers. I listened to, I forget what her name was. She was on a Yoga Alliance podcast, and she had said that she'll do some stretches at the beginning of their Nidra class, and then they'll do the Nidra. And then at the very end, she does journaling, like journaling about what you thought and what you felt. And I thought, I might start implementing that. I'm still finding my own groove with Nidra because I just started learning about it and teaching it. So I'm still finding my own groove, which that's part of the fun of coming to my studio, is that when I learn new things, I just pop them into class and you're just like, oh, that's different. That's new.
I like the new one today. That was fun.
Yes. I think you just wanted to stay there.
I did. I could have just stayed there and just relaxed forever. Until I tried it again and fell off my block. But that's a whole nother story about how graceful I am. I think if you have not tried Nidra, you have to give it a try. So Heather, I don't know if you have an upcoming meetup, but sometimes she does meetups, and we did a Nidra one. You go through like all the feels during Nidra. Like she talks about pictures and stuff. I'm not going to give it all away, but like some you get this happy feeling, and others it's like, oh, like it's just so odd when you're listening and you can have all these pictures. It was really a neat experience.
Yeah, I haven't planned my next one for May, but I might just go ahead and make it a Nidra since you mentioned it. So my May meetup will be Nidra. I haven't set it up yet, so just be on the, the event page on the lookout for that in May.
Yes. Yeah, so if you're a VIP kid teacher, you know how to get to the meetups. If you're not, you can still try Nidra on Sundays through her greenlight.yoga, and they're like $10, right, for a drop-in class?
Mm-hmm. Okay. $10 for a drop-in class, yes. And that's for all the yoga classes. And if you want to do it with your husband or like with your daughter, or, there's a family drop-in and it's 15. So you could literally have your whole family. Like if there's like 4 of you that wants to do it, pay 15, all 4 of you in the same room, you got it.
Perfect. I think I was going to say something about that and I don't remember. But I pay for the monthly one. And what I like about that is I can just drop in at any time. But for those of you like me, if you sign up, then you make it. And if you don't sign up, then you conveniently forget. I would say if you're going to do the monthly, sign up for them all at the beginning of the month because it'll make you show up.
She's very consistent. You are the most consistent yogi I've ever met, I swear.
People would think that's hilarious and crazy for those that know me, but it's because I sign up at the beginning of the month. And once I have a commitment, that's like what I have to do, so. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's another thing with the memberships. Yeah. It's unlimited yoga. That's like, it's $100 for the month, but that's like $300 value if you did yoga every single day.
Yeah. It's great.
And if you're military, a veteran, or a student, like if you're still in college or if you're still in high school, then it's $80 a month.
Awesome. That's awesome. I think that's about it. Anything else you wanna let everyone know about?
Be true to yourself.
Awesome.
That's one of the big things with my yoga classes is just because I'm, doing a pose a certain way does not mean that your body has to do that. Right. I forced myself into a yoga pose very early on in my yoga career. When I first was certified as a teacher, I had this whole thing in my head that like, okay, this yoga pose that I can't do, I have to get there by this certain time. And when that time came and went, I still couldn't do it. And I had all this like self-disappointment, like, oh, I can't do it like that one person. And so I forced it. I forced myself into it and I messed up my knee by doing that. And so it's by consistently doing yoga, the knee pain has mostly alleviated, but on occasion, I still get knee pain in that same spot. And so it was like, it's a reminder to me. It's like, don't force it. Don't force it. Like if my body doesn't do that, be okay with that. Love your body as it is and be okay with where it is, because always wishing for it to be different or wishing for just that, you're putting a lot of your energy into the future. And a lot of yoga is to bring yourself into the present and to be in the here and the now. It's good to, and that's not to say don't strive for goals or not to try to plan for the future or to try to move forward. You always want to be in a forward motion, but you want to be present and enjoy the ride,
Right.
So
is this for anyone? Can anyone, beginner, advanced, can anyone come in and join your classes?
Absolutely. Yeah. Any age, any frame, any type, any injuries. With injuries, though, I do consult your doctor before. I'm not a doctor. And a lot of it is, I can give you many, many tools, but you are going to have to just kind of feel for yourself what feels right. Because I'll be honest with you. I've had people ask me, they're like, hey, I've had a hip replacement. Are the hip openers going to be okay for me? I'm like, that depends on what kind of hip replacement you had and how far you are in your recovery and how that feels to you. Because some people, they recover, regain all their range of motion, and it's great. And some people, it's really stiff, it hurts, it's very painful for them. It just depends on what kind of physical therapy they had, what kind of recovery they had, what kind of diet you have, how much water you drink. That's huge. I saw that face. Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of yeah, I heard from a gentleman just down the road like a week ago. I was saying like, oh yeah, I haven't had enough water today because I could feel my face was so dry, and I was like, I got to go get some water. I am like so dehydrated. And he said that's the key to staying young, and I was like, so I whip around. I go, come again. What's the key to staying young? He said, I knew a man who was in his 80s. He drank a gallon of water a day and he didn't have a wrinkle on him. I was like, you know, that sounds
I'm just noticing them lately. I'm like, oh.
I know. I'm like seeing my little fine lines by my eyes. I'm like, oh, there's my happiness lines.
Yep.
There they are. All that smiling and happiness. Oh, and right by the mouth too. Oh yeah.
That's so funny.
Those are happy lines.
Right?
That's proof I've lived a happy life right there. I'll wear it.
So funny. So this is our yoga class.
Yes. Basically, yeah.
I love it.
Yes, and I am always available, even if you don't want to jump into a class right away. If you can't afford it, that is okay. I more than understand, because I have some of my students, they drop in, they drop out. They're like, oh, I just can't afford it right now. Right. I had one student, I loved her dearly. She was so sweet, but she's like, oh, my husband just lost his job and I can't afford it. And I'm like, it's all good. You're always welcome to come back into my doors whenever. You know, this is not a guilt zone. I'm not going to guilt you into doing yoga. I'm just going to be like, hey, come to the party. Let's have fun. And if you're having a bad day, life happens. You know, you need time to yourself. Like, that's all good. You know. Yeah. So yeah, this is a love area. I love you. I will give you my best, and you'll love it.
And get a juicy peach from doing yoga.
I need to make that shirt. I'm still working. I know, right? Yeah, there is merch coming. It's just not up yet.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Heather. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me today. Check out all of her links below. And like I said, Andrew will be on here next week to talk more about his side of the business. And
is it next week?
Nope. Did I say next week? In the coming weeks. He is May 20th.
May 20th. Yeah. And then he's going to talk about his trainings and things like that. So if you're interested in spirituality and like healing yourself, I am currently in his training. I am going to graduate clairvoyant training in August. So I'll be a full-on clairvoyant.
Nice.
There's literally therapists in this class, and they're like, oh my God, like if everyone did this, therapy would almost not exist.
Wow.
Because it is learning an ability, but it's also like healing yourself from the inside out. It's so amazing. I can't even explain it.
Well, that's an awesome compliment coming from therapists saying that. I mean, it tells a lot.
Yeah. I mean, like therapy has its place, but yeah, she just like came out of meditation and she just goes, oh my God, if everyone did this, therapy would just not exist.
That's awesome. All right, friends. Well, thanks for coming again and hanging out with us today. Thanks for leaving questions below, commenting, liking, subscribing, all of that fun stuff. And we'll see you next time, hopefully in yoga. Bye.
Namaste. Bye.